Hi, welcome back to class, and we are on our 15th module, so we're pretty much done for the semester. Next week will be our final, and I'll have this structured out a little bit early for you, so you'll be able to get this final pretty much done with, for the most part, early. But we do have a final experience in the class. This week is something I generally do in this class when we offer it face-to-face, and that's I focus on some kind of current event. Last year we focused on the issue of Starbucks and coffee, where they were kicking people out of the Philadelphia Starbucks that were customers, and the issue that came about with that. This year, what I'm going to do is we're going to use Antifa as the current event. So Antifa is something that gets discussed in the media, but there's very few people who really know what goes on when they're discussing Antifa. So they use it as a big code for a whole bunch of different things, and they're partly right. It is a very broad idea and set of ideals, but we're going to narrow this down a little bit by using a lecture from Mark Bray, who is an expert in anti-fascism, and decided to study what people who identify as anti-fascists, what they do. And it's something I think you'll find very interesting, and it will open up a lot of light when you have a conversation with somebody and they start talking about Antifa. You'll find that they generally don't know what they're talking about, or they'll use it as too broad of a brush, using some small people to paint the picture for exactly what they are all across the board. So there's not going to be a discussion attached to this. This is strictly for you to have this information for yourself. I think it's good to know, because you're going to hear about I think you're going to hear about this group in the news quite a bit, and the upcoming years and months. So this week there is no quiz again for now. On Wednesday, what I'll do is I'm going to put up the final quiz for the class. So this class goes through chapter 13 of the book. After that, the book gets into international comparisons. And quite frankly, if we were going to do that, I think we would probably need to set up a whole second semester to this class, which I'd love to do, but we don't have a we don't have a course offering for that yet. But if we were to get into international discussions, the next few chapters do get into that. And like I said, that would be a great follow-up to this class. But like I said at the beginning of the semester, we're going to use the location of the United States as our point of analysis for race and ethnicity. And there's a lot that goes on in this country, so it would really take away from the semester for me to shorten up each segment up till now in order to include the international lens. Like I said, I'd love to do that, but at this point, this is where we're at for the class. So I think this will be much easier for you to digest too. So what you're going to have coming on Wednesday night, I'm going to put up your two initial post questions that you will discuss next week. So you'll have the two initial posts. You can go ahead and put those down early, and then next week, Sunday, or this coming Sunday, you can come and revisit those and start doing your responses. On Wednesday, I'll also put up the chapter 13 quiz, which will, I think, is a great capstone to what we already studied, and a great way to end the semester. This book is well written, and I'm sure you notice how it works out. We start off discussing the lens of race and ethnic studies, and then we get into the individual cases of certain ethnic groups in this country. By no means does this include everybody, but it is very good for what we can cover in one semester. Also, pretty much every chapter in this book is an area of expertise that you can pick up in grad school if you're interested in. So you can go to a place like San Francisco State, which we discussed last week, and you'll be carrying on your discussion this week, and go and you can get a degree in Italian American Studies or Asian American Studies. And numerous schools around the country do focus on different ethnic groups. So this is a real area of interest for a lot of people. So if you do have an interest, you could send me an email. I could help you narrow down some places that you might want to look at pursuing this. But yeah, I mean, like I said, you can take this all the way up to a PhD level in studying any chapter of this book. So this week we're going to look at Antifa. There's not much to do here. You have a short article that will introduce you to Mr. Bray. Then there's a small CNN video that kind of gets into some of the issues within Antifa. So they get into the idea of internal conflict with the use of when or if violence should be used in protesting. And the next video is Bray, and Bray is just speaking from the viewpoint of a researcher. So he's, as academics, we're not pushing an agenda and telling you to go do something. He is just merely discussing his findings, what he got from interviews, things that came across his conversation with people. So you'll have the video with him, and he answers some pretty serious questions on anti-fascism. There's a total of 13 questions, and like I said, this week we just have the Dropbox. I, for one, would like to give your brain a little break. I know you're having a difficult semester. I'm teaching a few other classes, and I do see it on people's faces that people look tired at the end. But I want you to leave here, feeling like you accomplished something. And you have, as a class, I'm very excited for what came across this semester. The discussions have been great. People have been picking up ideas from earlier weeks and bringing them forward and discussing them later on in the semester, which is exactly what I was hoping I would see. And I like I said, I'm very happy with how the class went. I think you guys did a great job, and I'd like for you to pat yourselves in the back. I think I said that before a couple weeks ago, but I really do mean it. This log back in here on Wednesday at midnight, and you should have a little further information for yourselves. The article we have here, the first article, is the Antifa Academic, and that is introducing you to Mr. Bray. Please read that. It will give you some information about him, and you can see who you're going to hear from later on in the class. Then there's these two short videos. So the first one is just a small video from CNN just discussing that Antifa is a little bit different than what people put out there. You may have an idea of what they are already, but this is worth watching just to have a better picture when you watch the news or hear a discussion. And then here is the lecture with Mr. Bray speaking at Wesleyan in Connecticut, and he's giving his presentation on his book he wrote. This book is called The Anti-Fascist Handbook, and he discusses everything I have here in the question. So from why weren't there many books written about anti-fascism to a popular claim made by people that people make about when they're discussing anti-fascism and free speech. These arguments come up quite a bit. So you'll get to see how he answers it. And again, he's answering from the idea of being an academic, where he spoke with people in different groups. So he does explain in this presentation that he is not a member of Antifa or one of the smaller groups. And again, Antifa really isn't an organization. It's a loosely knit group of people. But he's just saying, as an academic, here's the research I did, and here's what's being presented. So keep that in mind. And I just want you to answer these questions. And if you have any questions for me, just go ahead and send me an email again. If you're on campus and like to meet up, I am available to swing by and chat with anybody at any time. And you'll hear from me again on Wednesday. Thank you so much.